If you got some extra money, give it to me. I thought that was funny. Who's gonna do that?
These brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, never gotta roll with ice. These brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, never gotta roll with ice.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is Paul with Spheric Reptiles, and I thank you so much for tuning in. And as I said before, if you got some extra money, just give it to me. Time is definitely money. I don't know which one is more valuable. It depends on your need for either one of them. This video will be to discuss for new breeders how to plan out your goals for breeding. So I always stress writing things down. Use a business plan, because that way your thoughts are on paper and you can actually hold yourself accountable to some benchmarks, and you can set some time points or time frames that you can actually evaluate, and then have an exit strategy as to how you'll move forward, stay the same, or stop altogether. As before in an earlier video, maybe 150 videos ago, I stated that having a business plan is crucial. I think because if the thoughts are in your mind, they don't mean shit. You can't take that to the bank. You can't take that to a business partner, and you damn sure can't take it to a total stranger, which could be all of the three, right? That's crazy. But in particular, this is a race against time, and it's a race against money when it comes to breeding, and you can waste a lot of it. So this video will hopefully discuss things very quickly for you and very concise. I'm choosing to go with double recessives because all the examples I've seen through social media and online only discuss single gene recessives. Now, we know how to calculate incomplete dominance. It's just a simple Punnett square, and you can calculate your odds on that. But this in particular will be for creating those double or triple recessives, which are right in the price range for most people. The quad recessives or even the penta recessives are very, very expensive for most people, like myself. And I just don't know if I'm willing to commit that much right now until I get up and going. So if you're like me and you're just starting out and you have a plan and you're just kind of like on the cusp of where do I go now, maybe this is the video for you. So if it is, please let me know, comment, and then like and subscribe to this video as well. So you can't waste time or money, right? So, and I think that's why we go to work, right? I don't know if that's a waste of time or if it's a waste of money. I don't know. You make the call on that. For me, it's like the more I work, the more money I make. So it's a trade-off, right? So it's an inverse relationship. But the first example that we'll use is the creation of a clown pied. So you see our clown pied here, Jetty, which we happen to get from Spheric Reptiles at the earlier in the year, well, actually last year's NARBC in 2023, and now he's up to adult size. We just got to find the parent for him, which we already know. We're actually waiting on a female. So I'm going to use Morph Market here and to discuss things, and you can see this on the screen as I talk. I kind of split it up so that you could actually see it. So I'll be using in the first example a head clown head pied to a head clown head pied. So that's a 1.0 and a 0.1, right? So it's a male and female. I hope you wouldn't be breeding a male to a male or a female to female. You just don't make babies that way. But as you can see that if you use this pairing, you got a 1 in 16 odds of getting it, or a 6% chance of getting a visual for clown and pied in the same animal. And this is per egg. I always want to stress per egg, because if someone throws 6% out there and then you get to the 6% value of the egg and you don't get it, you'll be like, man, that dude didn't know what he's talking. No, it's per egg. So per egg you get this. So you could totally win on everything, or you could totally lose on everything, depending on how you see it. If you make a healthy, viable baby, then you're actually winning in the terms of the ball python female that's creating this and the male that paired to her. But going on, you got a 19% chance of getting a clown, 66% head pied, and the same percentage of getting a pied, 66% head clown. So you understand how that works, right? So the first one that's produced, if it produces a visual, that's 25% of the eggs. So if you got no matter what, if you got a 100% head to 100% head, if you produce a visual, that's 25%. And then from that other 75%, you got to make that a whole, so it's 100%. So you got a 2 in 3 chance of getting a double head, or you got a 2 in 3, you got a 1 in 3 chance of getting a normal. So that's per gene. So that's why it's split up from 33% or 66% all the way down to 19 and 19%, because for one, you could get a visual in the head, and the other one, you could get a visual in the head. And so the last one would be getting a 66% head clown or a 66% head pied in this situation, because you wouldn't get a normal in this situation no matter what. So it'd be a 56% chance of you getting that 2 and 3 per egg per recessive gene. And I know it's really weird, but I would suggest that you genetic test anything that's not visual in this case, even if it is a visual. So if it's a visual for clown and not a visual for pied, or a pied and not visual for clown, go ahead and get a genetic tested so that you can make sure that you just don't have a clown or a pied. That'll save you some time, especially if you're trying to breed. All right, so we discussed that double head to double head situation. Now we're going to discuss a double visual to a double head situation. And in this case, I feel like this is the better route to go. Looking at the price of, say, a clown pied and a head clown pied, you can hit your numbers a lot sooner. You can get that visual pairing that you're looking for. If your goal is to make a double visual from a double visual, then you can create double visuals, right? So your offspring should be 1 in 4, 25% clown pied per egg. So you got a 25% chance per egg of making that clown pied. And I think that's really good odds of getting a visual outside of a visual to a double visual to a double visual. And then you also have a 25% chance of getting a clown 100% head pied, as well as a 25% per egg of getting a piebald head 100% head clown. And then the last situation is that you would get a head clown and a head pied. And you got to remember that. So everything is 25%. But you got to remember that when you breed a visual, double visual to double head, you're always going to end up with at least a double head 100%. So for me in this situation, because of cost and because it's a simple combination of genes, then I think that's the better route to go, is to breed that breeder female or that breeder male that's double visual to the opposite of the double head. And then that way you can actually hit your goals a lot sooner, and everything else you don't even have to get genetic tested because you know it's 100% double head. I mean, so yeah. So you don't have to think about per egg. If you see it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. So that'll save you a lot of time, and that'll probably save you the most amount of money. We're going with that route. Now we're going to add in one more gene to this clown pied and say it's hypo. Now you can go with a triple visual clown pied hypo, but you're going to, at this point, as of July 2024, you're going to drop about $5,000. So like I said, if you got extra money, then that's great. Like, you can definitely jump up, because if you spend the money, you can save the time. So I won't say that. But if you don't want to spend the money on it and you have a little bit of time, because that's what we're racing against, right? You could actually breed this pairing. You could take the clown, piebald, and hypo and breed it to a triple head for a clown pied hypo. And what you would get is what you see on the screen, 1 in 8. So it's a little bit better, right? It's a little bit better. Because you're breeding it to a visual, but you're not getting that 25% like you did before when you had just 2 recessive genes. Now you got 3, and you got a 1 in 8 or a 13% chance of getting what's called a candy clown piebald. And all of this is coming from Morph Market. So I want to give Morph Market the respect and the props for having a tool like this available, so they can help people get in touch with other breeders and they can buy their animals. But moving on, the second combination will be 13%, and it's 13% for everything, guys. So you'd get a candy clown head piebald. So you get a hypo clown that's head for piebald, right? And then the other one would be a 13% chance of getting a clown piebald head hypo, then a hypo piebald head clown, then a clown head hypo head piebald. I mean, you can see how it's going. So the very last situation you will get, and they're all het, right? So this is the one good thing about having that visual. Remember, you're going to get all 100% hets. You got a 13% chance of getting a head clown, head hypo, head piebald. So this scenario works well if you have the money to get that triple visual, right? And so you can hit your odds a lot better. And then moving forward, you might end up with double visuals that are het for one thing, or you might end up with all hets. But either way, they're all, your ending point won't be worse than your starting point of having that visual, or at the lesser, that triple het that's 100% for clown, piebald, and hypo, right? So we discussed that first scenario of this second example. So this is the second part of that. So if you were to have remember, this is all about time and money. And can you get this? Can you hit your odds? So it's all about an odds game, right? But we have a triple head for clown, pied, and hypo to another triple head for clown, pied, and hypo, right? And I got a picture of them here. Of course, there's pictures all the way through this, so I don't know why I even said that. But your chances of hitting your triple head, your clown, pied, and hypo is only 2% if you go this route, right? So with that, you could consider that a loss because it's 2% for an egg, so it's almost non-existent, right? So if you have 100%, you got a 2% out of, so that leaves 98% chance of you not hitting it, right? If those are Vegas odds, I don't know if I would recommend you taking that bet, but if you don't have the money, then this is the only route that you have to go. You could actually buy 4 of these animals or 5 of these animals if this is something that you really wanted to make. So going with 1.3 or 1.4, that's 1 male to 3 females or 4 females. And you could, 2% of those for every egg would be a clown, pied, hypo. Now your other examples are about 5% of you getting, what does it say? A candy clown that's 66% head pied, or a clown piebald that's 66% head hypo, or a hypo piebald that's 66% head clown. But then after that, when you go to the single visual recessives, then it drops down to 14%. And then all the way at the bottom, I believe that you're more than likely per egg, 42% or 27 out of 64 would give you that 66% head clown, head hypo, or head piebald. So if you end up with anything that's not triple visual, right, I would definitely recommend you getting this animal genetic tested, because you got to remember, when you breed 100% head to 100% head, it doesn't matter how many other genes you stack. It could be 1, 2, or 3 if they're all 100% head. But when you breed that pairing of 100% head, 100% head to each other, if you don't get a visual, that's 25% of the chance for that one gene. You got a 66% chance of getting that gene 100% head, or it's 33% chance of getting a normal for that gene. So just to be sure that you're not wasting your time and raising another animal up for breeding purposes, I would recommend getting these animals genetic tested. So guys, I hope that this video is helpful to you. It didn't take me a while to understand this, because I think I've done this for a while now, just dealing with these type of numbers. But when it comes to actually breeding, relax. It's not overnight. But when you do enter into a project, before you actually spend money, I just want you to be educated and make the best decision for you and your business plan. Whether you have a business or it's a hobby, I would still approach it the same way, because a lot of people throw more money at their hobbies than they do their business, or equal amounts. So I just want you to be educated and be able to make a good, rational decision. And, hey, I hope this is something that helps you. Please let me know, and like, comment, and like and subscribe to the video as well. And if nothing else, guys, I hope that this brings you closer to enjoying the time that you spend with your reptiles and enjoying the time that you have with your family. Thank you.